Hi Bedour, how are you? I hope this gets to you in time. It's 8 o'clock. I'm gonna try and do this quickly. I just picked this email up, so hopefully this kind of helps. Um, so what are we talking about here? We are talking about one second. Oops. One second. Let me just get this. Here we go. All right, brilliant. So this question, it's the same thing we've been talking about. Remember, break even, or what we're trying to do here is we're trying to find out we're trying to pay these guys. These guys are the bad guys, the fixed costs. So you have two fixed costs of, they've just broken them down. So you have 1,600 and 1,200. So that's 1,600 plus 1,200. All right, 1 second. Plus 1,000. Oh, all right. 1,600 plus 1,200. So your total fixed costs are 2,800, right? That's what you have to pay before you can start talking about profit. This is the bad person. Now, this is what you have to pay. Well, of course, with the zeros, with the three zeros, right? So really, it's 000. It's not point, but comma. So it's 2.8 million, right? Because, okay, great. So what's the first question? The first one is, what's the selling price of each unit? Well, you're selling 20,000 units for 5 million. So the question is asking, what's the selling price of one unit? So therefore, it must be, well, 5 million for 20,000 units, right? When I say zeros, I'm just saying these are the zeros here. Yes, these zeros. So basically, 5 million pounds for 20 units, for 20,000 units, or 5 million. So really the question is, what is 1 unit? So I need to divide both sides by 20, right? And by doing that, 5 million by um, 20,000. So all of this divided by all of this, that's what I'm doing. So 5 million divided by 20, and that's 250. So the selling price is 250. Yes, because if you sell one for 250, if you multiply 20,000 units by 250, you will get 5 million. Okay, great. That's the first question done. The variable cost of each unit. So the variable cost of each unit, variable, look at it, variable and variable. So the variable here, if you like, is the 1,000, this plus this, variable. So you have 1,400 plus 400 for all the units, and you made 20,000 units. Yes, 20,000 units. So here we have 1,800 for 20, well, 1.8 million for 20,000 units. Same thing, right? So therefore, it means that the that this is one. This is a video, so you can pause this. This plus this is the total variable cost for 20,000 units. So the question is asking, if this is 1.8 million for 20,000 units, what is it for 1 unit? Again, divide this by to get there, 2 into 8 is 9, and so you have 90. So the variable cost is 90. And contribution, we already said, is selling price minus variable cost. So that's 250 minus 90, right? And that's, if you like, 160. So there you are. So that's your contribution. So your contribution. Now the question says, what's the break even? And break even is I'm trying to pay this guy, right? So I'm trying to pay these fixed costs. So if I'm trying to pay my fixed cost, the question is, how many units do I need to sell? Oops, how many units do I need to sell? How many to make this, to cover this 2.8 million? This 2.8 million came from fixed costs, this one and this one, right? So it must be 2.8 million divided by 160, right? Fixed cost divided by contribution divided by 160. And that's 17,500. 5 marks, a big question. But the key point here is that you have to get the fixed cost first. It's always fixed cost divided by contribution. Always. So you're just using them step by step. And then the margin of safety is that, well, if this is what you need to sell and this is the what you're selling, right? 20,000 units, you're selling 20,000 units. Now you're selling 20,000 units. Sorry, there's no space here. 20,000 units, you're selling 20,000 units. Here we are. And you need 17,500 to break even. The margin of safety is the difference, right? You have to get 50%. You think you can get 65%, so there's a difference, 15%. So the difference is 2,500 units. It's about the number of units, not amount, the margin of safety. So you have 250, 2,500 units, if you like. And then as a percentage, remember, it's always 2,500 divided by the actual amount that you can sell. So 2,500 divided by 20,000 times 100%, right? And then if you do that, 2,500 divided by 20,000 times 100%, that's 12.5%. Yeah. And then the last question says, how many mobile phones do you need to sell to achieve a target profit of 1 million? We did this. So we now know that we need a target profit of 1 million. Let me just clean this out. So I need 1 million to cover. I need to hit 1 million. I also need to hit 2.8 million for my fixed costs. So I divide this by the contribution, which is 160. So 1 million plus 2.8 million divided by 160, and that's 3.8 million divided by 160, right? 3.8 million divided by 160 gives us 23,750. Remember, the thinking is, I'm asking the question, how many units? I'm receiving 160 pounds for each phone. I need to get to 2.8 million profit. But first, before I can talk about profit, I have to cover my fixed, sorry, 1 million profit. But first, I must cover my fixed costs. I must get to 2.8 million first, then I can get to 1.1 million as well. Cool, great stuff. Good luck. I hope that helps.